Hi everyone, I am heading your way right now, and I know what's on everyone's mind. It's on mine too. Uh, I Hi. So everyone, I know. Me too. Edward says Linda G posted. Edward. That's what I'm saying. I came in this way. It bothers me as well. But you know what? I don't think. I'm sorry, I'm starting this way. Let me say a couple of things first. Uh, I am working on a tutorial to teach people. Give me a minute, people. I'll be right with you. That's why I came in a bit earlier. There are some people who would like to take part in the chat and they don't know how. To those who are using a computer or a tablet, if you are using any browser, go to your main page, YouTube main page, and look on the left hand side, and take a look at where it says it reads subscriptions, and you will see my name under there. Even if you don't see the red icon next to my name, touch my name or click on my name, whichever one you like to do from the browser. It will take you to my channel. Once you get to my channel, the first video will have a little red square. Inside of it, it says live now. Click on that. It will take you to the chat area. Well, you will see the video playing on the center of the screen and the chat on the right side. That's how you can get to the chat. And then at the bottom of the chat, you're going to see the chat scrolling and you see people writing. Where you see your picture at the bottom of the chat with your name, where it says say something, if you type there and touch that, the arrow is going to turn blue. Touch the arrow, it will display what you just wrote on the area that says say something. That's if you are using a browser. If you are using the YouTube app, once you launch it, look at the bottom. You will see the menu at the bottom. Tap on subscriptions as well. It will display all the people you subscribe to. Touch on my the video that shows me touch on my video. It should say live anyway. Or whether it does or not, touch it. It's going to take you to the chat. That's how you get to the chat, and then you can. It behaves the same way as in the browser. At the bottom, it says "say something" or something like that. Right below your picture and your name, you will see that area where you can type what you want. Okay, I wanted to tell some people because I'm working. I had some technical issues because I have the latest of the application, and there was something was not right. I had to figure it out. Spent a lot of time on it, so I finally figured it out. So I'll work on it again tomorrow. Okay, now we're gonna go back to what's on everyone's mind, and I know everyone is angry, but don't be angry because let me say this first, and I believe I mentioned that either Monday or yesterday. I don't recall exactly. People were asking, we were talking about why Trump was so agitated, and I said he knew something was going to come down. Well, I feel Trump and the White House, they've had an inkling of that's why Trump was freaking out. They knew the report was coming this week. They have an idea of what's in the report. They may not know exactly what's in the report, but they have an idea. But I feel like reminding everyone that not to reach conclusions yet. I am not an attorney, I'm not a lawyer. I wish I were. I could laid this out for everyone and legal terms, but unfortunately, I'm not. What I feel about this is only the beginning. Yes, Trump, with his big mouth, is going to start saying no indictment, no collusion. He's going to keep saying that. But I feel there are things in that report that are not flattering to Trump. And also, we have to remember, I don't know how many investigations they have going on, but there are a number of investigations going on, and they all, well, let me backtrack. As I'm saying that, I remember Cohen or Cohen. I'm not sure which is the right way to pronounce his name. Trump's attorney. Well, the guy is going to jail for something he did for Trump. So I feel like reminding everyone that the way I am feeling about this is only the beginning. And the people he had to indict, he indicted them, and the Russians for attacking or interfering with our elections. I don't feel this is over, people. So don't get upset. From what I understand, and since I don't know the Department of Justice rules or anything of that sort, I was watching the news because I too was surprised because I've been expecting certain things to happen and they didn't happen. And it's not because it's not going to happen. It's probably because it's already there to happen and they haven't acted on those things yet. So, Edward is okay. I will answer questions in a few minutes. I know this whole session is possibly going to be me answering questions, but let me say a few things. I feel like saying this is not the end by any means. Trump and his people are going to try to spend it their way, and that's their right. But for the life of me, I feel this is only the beginning. I still feel there are going to be a number of legal issues, and I would not be surprised if it is SDNY who goes after the Trump family and New York State. Because we have to remember, I never said Trump was going to be impeached. I always said he was going to walk away. I feel like I have been saying for the past few weeks, because people keep asking me, about impeachment. I feel they will slowly. This whole administration is like death by 1,000 cuts. That's what it feels like to me. And it seems like it's a cancer that's spreading from Trump out to everyone around him. So I don't feel this is over. And yes, Trump is gonna try to spend things, because we have to remember I heard he went to Mar-a-Lago with his whole team. If he didn't need people to spend things for him, why would he need all those people around him? To me, that's an issue, because if you are in the clear, you don't need all these people around you. So my intuitive impression is this is just the beginning. I feel there are other shoes to drop. there is no way, based on everything that we've known. I did not write. Well, I don't know what. Well, I guess if I Google, I can find out every single things that they have on Trump and how many places, jurisdictions are investigating him. I don't know how many. I know New York for sure. From what I understand, there is West or there's Virginia or something like that, and a couple of other places. So there are a lot of investigations going on. But we have to remember, Trump has no shame, and the bar is lowered for him and his family. So I feel like saying, before we start getting mad and saying he's going to get away with it, I don't think so. I feel Mueller did his job, and he's going to leave the rest to DOJ to do their part. And you know what? There is something I don't think we've thought about. The amount of pressure that Mueller and his team was under, and the number of hours they have put in this investigation is unbelievable. And that's one thing the other day I was thinking about that we don't think about. And if I were his age, I'm not sure I would devote that much time to anyone or doing anything, where you work 12, 14 hours a day, almost every day of the week. So, and I have always felt what Mueller has, and he has handed in, I don't feel it's flattering to Trump. So the only thing is, yes, he did not, from what I heard, there is no indictment, but I feel this is only the beginning. So let's just hang in there. Let's not lose it yet. There is still more to come. Okay. The way I am, let me explain this, because a lot of people seems to misunderstand the way I do, the way I want to run the program. I will talk and say what I'm feeling intuitively, or if I have to say what I'm hearing, like today, yes, I'm giving some intuitive impressions, but it's not completely about that, because I'll be honest with you, I am a bit emotional as well, because there are a lot of things that I am expecting, but I cannot tell when they're going to happen exactly. I'm sorry, I'm not good with telling time. I'm told I'm pretty good with predictions, but my timing is off. So, but that's why I learned astrology, but that didn't help me very much. So, what I feel like saying to everyone, let's cool it and let's see what happened. But in any event, what I wanted to tell everyone is what I do is I'm going to speak, either make predictions, read for 10 minutes or however long it takes, and then allow and look for questions on the chat and answer those questions. So I want to make sure that's the format of the program. And I was hoping some people would catch that. Unfortunately, some people feel that, I get distracted. No, it's intentional. I will read for 10, 15 minutes, and then I will, after the topic, after I'm done, I will take a look at the chat and answer questions, and then I will move on to a new topic. But this evening, I wouldn't be surprised if we all, I'm looking at the chat right now, I would not be surprised if we get stuck on one topic. But there may be one more thing I want to mention, and then I'll answer some questions. Okay, one thing I wanted to mention, I heard in the news today because during the week, I heard somebody complaining that the way Trump went about attacking McCain and no one in the military responded. I feel the military doesn't want to get into any fight with Trump. It feels like to me they're going to use a different approach. And today, I heard a general of the Marine Corps, I believe he's the top general. I wrote his name down. He sent a letter to the Pentagon. His name is Robert Neller, General Robert Neller, and from what I read, he basically read Trump the Riot Act. He didn't like it. I mean, Trump taking money from military for the military to do things with, and then he's transferring the money to do his own uh, for the border. So a lot of them, it feels like to me, instead of having arguing back and forth with him and tweeting, it feels like to me that's the way they're gonna go and that is what they are going to do going forward. Every time he does something stupid, they're gonna write something about it that is affecting them. They're not just gonna go after him, but it feels like to me they will just uh, like the general did today, point it out that how taking the money from them is affecting them. It feels like to me that's how they're going to approach it, as opposed to just butt head with him. Okay, we'll answer some questions, but and the other thing I wanted to say, there is not a big scandal brewing. Kushner and his use of WhatsApp. So if there is time, I'm going to answer some questions about what's going on today, and then I will say a few words about that. Okay. Jenny says she has never used the word president when referring to Trump. I've never said it either. So, yeah, you're not the only one, Jenny. Okay. Margaret says they're gonna release a report over the weekend. Yes, I did hear that they are going to release the report to Congress. I don't know if it's going to be to everyone, but yes, there's a big push. And I've always said that, regardless of what happens, we are going to find out what's in the report. So the truth is going to come out, and there's nothing Trump can do at this point to keep us in the dark about anything that he's done in the past and what he's doing right now. Hi, Range Rover, how are you? Okay. Jenny says Rosenstein isn't leaving because the report is done. Rosenstein is staying a bit longer. Something is happening in the behind the scene. Jenny, there is so much going on behind the scenes that we are not aware of. I mean, I don't know them either. I don't know the details, but I can, and I've been saying this for a long time. Yes, there is a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't know, but it's mostly the Republicans talking to Trump and letting him know they will carry water for him. But there is a lot of information that we don't know. Rosenstein, I feel I would be surprised if I'm getting 1 week to a month. I'd be surprised if he stays longer. But and also, oh, Rosenstein probably is staying because he's the one who hired Mueller. So he knows exactly why he had to do that. That's another thing I feel like saying. Does anybody think that Rosenstein would take a chance on hiring an independent counsel if there wasn't evidence or there's a need? Since I'm not a lawyer, I don't know how they put this. If he didn't feel, I know his boss had to recuse himself, and he had some issues, but there was strong evidence that an investigation had to be done, and it had to be with someone who's not part of the government at this time. So that's another thing we have to keep in mind. So Jenny, yes, he's staying a little longer to answer your question, but I don't feel he's going to stay that much longer. Range Rover said he never thought Trump would go to jail. Also, a sitting president cannot be indicted. That is true. But from what I understand, Range Rover, I heard New York State can indict him. That's what I heard somebody in the news. But you know what? I would not be surprised if that happens, because the lady in New York State doesn't seem to be. I don't feel she plays around. I feel they'll go after him full force, and I feel that is going on right now. Hi, Julie. I am all the way up, people. I'm going to go back down to see more questions. Mary yeah, says Marie says New York is governed differently. Well, yeah, they're not part of the justice is independent. They're not part of DOJ, so they can do whatever they want. Hi, Noel. Corbin Cat is asking about sealed indictments. You know what? I don't know if there are sealed indictments. Well, there is. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, it's, you know what? Who the sealed indictment is for? Trump. I don't feel the sealed indictment is for anyone else. If there is because the reason why I am bringing up the New York thing, because I feel I don't feel this is going to end without him, Trump, that is, getting indicted for something. It may not be for Russian collusion. From what I understand, even if he colluded with Russia, it's not a crime. That's what I heard on TV. But I'm not going based on what I feel on TV. I'm going based on what I feel intuitively. Trump is not going to get away with this. And I feel Mueller will produce enough for him to the man has no shame. He will be happy no matter what, since the bar is so low for him. But I don't feel he's going to look very good when the Mueller report is released. That's number one. Number two, so many people around him had to lie, and some of them had contact with Russia. This is not over. And I know you know what? Hi, Maiden. The other thing is, even if it's not while he's president, I feel like saying there's great potential for Trump to be. I know tonight is not the right time for me to say this, but I'm seeing it. Trump may have to surrender to law enforcement at some point. And I don't feel it's going to have to do with, I don't know, I don't think it's going to have to do with the Russian collusion. But there are things that are going to be uncovered about Trump. Well, SDNY, they already have that Cohen thing sealed for him, or whatever, however they're going to do it. But I feel I'm seeing Trump. I'm not seeing him in handcuffs, but I'm seeing him walking up to the courthouse. So there is no way this is over. I'm sorry. This is, like I said when I first started the stream, this is only the beginning of his headache. And it feels like to me, there are so many other things that we don't know yet that are to come out. And Mueller knows, and the other DOJ jurisdictions are aware of, that we have no clue about. Now, I don't see Trump getting away with this at all. Today is only the beginning. Rover is saying she's not giving up hope. Oh, I agree with you. There is too much that we are not aware of yet. So, and also, George is asking, how will the base react? Well, the base is going to be happy because Fox News, and they believe whatever Trump says. But can you imagine if it was anyone else who was president besides Trump? They've lowered the bar so low for him. He cons them, and that's what they want to hear. So, to answer the question, the base is going to be happy for today. But it's and no matter what, the core people are not going to abandon him. Others will. And there is another question. Lily Girl is asking, how will this impact the stock market? Well, it's gonna have, you know what? Monday next week, there are some other issues going on, so we may have a choppy market next week. That's what I feel is going to happen. But you know what? Whatever Trump has been involved in, the market has already taken that into consideration. So I don't see a crash. If that's what we are talking about, I am not seeing a crash. So keep our fingers crossed. And I don't want to crash either. I don't want to crash either. So because I don't want the economy to just go south on me. So let's keep our fingers crossed I'm right. Next week, I don't feel anything. I don't see a crash. So, choppy, yes. Crash, no. You're welcome, Lily girl. Okay. Okay. Lo-fi, how are you? Lo-fi, okay, the Trump assistant. Yes. Lo-fi is asking, will Rhodagraph the Trump assistant? Yeah. Well, that's another thing a lot of people are not thinking of today. This is the beginning. I forgot about that. Next week, there is a gentleman who is going to be testifying. His name starts with the letter S, Sender, something like that. And then Rhodagraph. All these people are going to be testifying in front of Congress. So this is not looking good. Like I said before, when I started, this is only the beginning. So yes, Rhodagraph will testify and she will talk. So I'm not worried. Those people, none of them want to go to jail for Trump. That's for sure. Not too many people, maybe not even his kids. I feel some of his kids would abandon him if they have to save themselves. His mother is asking, why doesn't Trump quit while he's ahead? Does he need a house to fall on him? Knock some sense into him. Mother, the problem is the Republicans. Okay, the way I get it, the Republicans have had their plans. Let's talk mostly Ryan and McConnell. They have had plans for a long time as to what they want. First of all, as far as judges, taxes, and a whole bunch of other policies they wanted to put in, they wanted to enact. Now they found a dum-dum and Trump, who all he wants is to be king. And basically what he has been doing is rubber stamping everything that him and Congress, they got together, they show him, their plans, what they want to do, okay? And then he says, okay, they agreed. And then that's what they've been doing for the past 2 years. That's why they were able to pass that huge tax cut for the rich. We got nothing. So, and if we recall, no one had time to read any of the stuff that they wrote. I don't remember how they call it right now, but that's what Trump is there for. That's why they like Trump. That's what they are doing. They want him to stay president for as long as he possibly can hang in there until enough stuff come out, and then he gets pissed off and no longer listen to them because he is going to be getting the blows. Those guys, they just talk and says, okay, we have your back, hang in there, don't go anywhere, don't do anything, we are with you. Until he feels like too many of his past misdeeds are being aired out. So to answer your question, Mother, it's because Trump have people that he talks to every day, and it was in the news. And I said that in previous videos way back that the Republican Party was supporting him and keeping him going. So then CNN, in fact, that's where I heard it. He talks to all these Congress people and senators that are keeping him motivated and staying. That's what's going on. That's why he's still in office. Otherwise, if he didn't have the support of all these guys, Jim Jordan, Meadow, McConnell is part of the group, and then a few others, Graham. Those are the people who are keeping him motivated and saying to him to stay on. The tax cut, and also like this week, we've been hearing how much he wants to cut Social Security and Medicare. So all these things were plans that Paul Ryan had. So that's to prove what I am saying, okay, or what I've said a long time ago. They were behind the scene wanting him to hang on, but now it's coming out. So to answer your question, that's why he's still hanging out, not because of anything else. But I feel once Congress has his taxes, and today I heard they're looking for not only his personal tax, but from his businesses as well. Yes, things are going to get very ugly. And also, once SDNY start indicting his kids, because this is not over. Yep. Today, he's dancing. From what I understand, he's having dinner with some, people he called asshole countries at Mar-a-Lago. So uh, he's getting to laugh first tonight, but we will get the last laugh. That I am sure. Okay. Dennis Snyder said someone told ahead of time about report. That is why renting. You had the renting about McCann and yes, Dana, that's exactly right. We were talking. I mentioned that earlier. Uh, Although there were no indictments, but there are some very unflattering stuff on that report about Trump, and he's not satisfied, but he can't change it. So you're right. That's why he was ranting and raving all week for the past over a week now. Thank you, Lily Girl. Felix Sater is going to testify next week. And from what I understand, if I'm correct, I heard in the news that he said he's going to cooperate, and I feel he will cooperate. I don't feel he's going to. A lot of people are coming to the realization that Trump is not going to be there forever, but anything they've done is going to follow them. Intuitively, that's what I'm getting from a lot of people who are in Trump's orbit, except for Roger. Uh, Most people, I feel, would talk to whatever they have to do and get themselves out because they don't want to be in trouble. I'm reading. I am looking for. Somebody is asking what's in the seal indictment. I, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is Mueller may be done indicting people, but the other investigations that are still going, there are more indictments to come. That's all. Uh, there are things I don't know how to call them. I'm sorry. I have to be honest. I'm not going to tell you guys things I don't know. What I feel, some of the stuff that I feel are going to come down is like him lying to the banks to get loans. Financial stuff are going to be part of the indictments. Roger Stone. Yes, Roger Stone is in big trouble. Well, that's another thing. Roger, they have not. This thing is way far from over. Roger Stone still has to go to court and go on trial. What? I'm just gonna. I just booted out someone out of the channel. You guys didn't see it. Uh, was this person causing trouble in here? Anyway, I just booted him out. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm looking at the screen. It seems like someone was in here causing issues. Someone is asking about Abrams. You know, I feel she's tempted, but I feel she if she's before she decides to join Biden, if she does, I feel she's going to test the water first. If someone asked me if Abraham is going to join Biden in the ticket. So, yes, she's tempted, but I feel she will run first. What somebody said, 2016, the same as predicted that we will soon be in a global recession. Jesse T says an astrologer predicted that we're going to be in a global recession soon. Yes, that's what I'm afraid of, but I'm hoping it won't be as bad. And Trump is not helping with the tariffs and all these type of things that he's trying to put his name on. But let's hope, Jesse, because astrologers, I mean, okay, let me explain this. Astrology is a fantastic tool. It shows potential of what can happen, but we have to keep in mind if the person is a straight astrologer, they will tell you, well, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, but it may not happen because the person is not intuitive. A straight astrologer, chances are a lot of things that it's potential things that can happen, but it may not happen. So that's why I feel there is a recession coming, and of course, we've been due for a recession. But the steps Trump has been taking, imposing tariff and creating all this chaos, is not helping. That's why I've said a few times in my chats, I have never worried before about our debts. This is the first time since I can remember. Every once in a while, I'll become very concerned about the debt our country is carrying. So, yes, we may have some major issues coming, but let's hope it's not as bad, because my fear would make me think of the worst. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Doria Watts is asking, what about Ivanka, Jared, and Don Jr.? I feel all three of these people, and I've been saying this for almost a year now, I don't feel they're gonna get away. Even if their father makes a deal with the feds for him to step down, they may not be prosecuted on a federal level. The states are gonna go after them, and I'm sure New York. Not SDNY, New York State. So, no, they're not going to get away with it. And also, there's another thing. Jared has been, okay, that's one thing I should mention. I think people talk about encryption. Encryptions, until somebody is able to find how to decode it. That's how good it's going to be. And WhatsApp, if Jared thinks that he was using WhatsApp to hide from our intelligence agencies, he is sadly mistaken. Because regardless, even if they can't decode his information right at this moment, they have all of it stored into their servers and work on go over them until they break them. Jared was using that app to communicate with foreign leaders, and some of them were using private emails, Ivanka, to communicate, and also other people in the Trump administration were using AOL mail to talk about transferring our nuclear technology to Saudi Arabia. So a lot of people are going to get in trouble. Yes, I still feel Don Jr. is going to be in trouble because of his arrogance. He lied to Congress. That's another thing that is not spoken about, okay? And he's going to get caught in the financial situation with his dad. Ivanka as well. Uh, they all have positions. Ivanka wants to be president, by the way. Don Jr. wants to be president too. That was initially that was Trump's idea. Okay, they wanted to create the Trump dynasty. Yeah, right. I don't feel Trump's base is enough, and there won't be a second round at the Russian interference in our elections because we know now how they did it. I am sure and confident that it's not going to happen again. They may influence a few people, but not enough to sway an election. To swing an election, absolutely not. So these people will not have. The reason why I brought that up is because I want to say, even if Don Jr., well, first of all, I still feel there is a high probability that they'll go to jail. I don't know exactly why, but I would be surprised if they are able to get away. They're gonna be throwing a lot of money, spending a lot of money on legal fees. So this has just begun. Doriza, to answer your question, yes, I still feel those three are in jeopardy, still in legal jeopardy, legal limbo. That's what I feel. I am scrolling up to see. Love Mystery, how are you? Mystery says she's mad because there was Mystery. From what I understand, uh, Mueller follows Department DOJ's guidelines. You cannot indict a president. That's what I heard. And also, it's not his role. You know, Trump was saying something today, and I thought about it this afternoon, and maybe that was Mueller's thinking. It is better for Congress to take on Trump instead of himself. That's one thing that came to mind, but I want to validate. I'm waiting for for things to unfold to validate what I am feeling. And to believe you, that's what I feel he did. He did not indict Don Jr. and a few other people because, let's remember this, he farmed out a number of other investigations. And also, so that's how he found out about Cohen paying that money and blah, blah, blah. So that's how Cohen got in trouble. Don Jr., I feel, and Ivanka is going to get in. Ivanka is going to be testifying in front of Congress. So, excuse me. When these things starts happening, that's when things are really going to get bad for Trump. So tonight they can do their high fives. It's not over. So don't feel bad, Mystery. This is only the beginning. Me too. I've been waiting for. It's possibly because I've been feeling Don Jr. is gonna go. Is gonna be indicted. It's possibly because it's there to happen. They simply haven't acted on it yet. So that's my take. I am scrolling up looking for Mouse Maiden says it might get just a little darker before it gets better. That is true. I agree with that. Okay. Please, everyone, if you could kindly tap the thumbs up, I would appreciate it because that's one of the data points that uh, YouTube looks at. And I'm also trying my best to grow my subscriptions. So please subscribe if you have not done so. Tonight is a little different because of the Mueller report. Everything I was working on to present tonight just went, psh. Oh, I'm not Mado. Mado has a saying that she has a plan, on things to talk about on some nights, and because of breaking news, she has to change the whole thing. That's what I basically did when I came because I wasn't shocked when I heard, although I was expecting the report to be released at any time, but I wasn't, I thought I was ready, but I wasn't certain it was going to be today. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't sure. So I didn't feel as motivated as before to come in here and do full throttle reading about because I have my sheet here, things I wanted to talk about, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be on everybody's mind. I will say a few words, and then I will answer questions. So that's why I did this tonight. I did it this way tonight. In any event, I feel this is a special night. And I appreciate everyone in the chat for watching and those in the audience that I can't see. So that's okay too. In any event, Mother is saying she hoped they don't cut Medicare and Social Security. Mother, you're not alone. There are so many people who don't want that to happen. Well, that's one. That's what I was talking about before. That was part of Ryan's plan to cut those things. So no, I don't think it's going to happen. To be honest with you. And I read someone wrote, "Oh, Trump's budget is dead on arrival." His mom, I agree with you. That's the way I feel as well. And Nancy Pelosi has tweeted about that, how mean-spirited that budget is. So I don't think it's going to happen. And that is if Trump is still around. I still I still don't see this over. I'm sorry. Stephen says maybe they can go ahead and impeach him. Stephen, I know you are with us. You've been watching me for over a year. I have never said they would impeach him, right, Stephen? So I won't be surprised if they don't impeach him. He just gets up and quit, go home. Let me see. Okay. I am looking for. I'm looking for more questions. Otherwise, I will do. Oh, I did mention the. Let me see if I forgot anything important that I wrote down. Oh, I want to say something. I thought about it today. Did you guys hear that Pompeo said God sent Trump to save Israel and the Jews? I thought that was so sick. I am shocked. America's top diplomat went out and said something like that. I couldn't believe it. Yes, Mystery. So you heard that too? Yes, I was really surprised. Well, the reason why I feel he said that because he knows that Trump would love it, and also he was, from what I understand, the guy who was interviewing him is, or he was in some kind of religious program, but that was not a very bright thing to say. Uh, so that's one thing that's, another opportunity for us to laugh up on Pompeo and how, I don't know, these guys, Trump, it seems like does something to the brands. Once they start working for Trump, they put it aside. In any event, let's see. Yeah. Oh, that was okay. Eldred says that was an evangelical program. Thank you. I did not know exactly what it was because I only saw a snippet of it in the news, and they said it was. I was talking. Eldred is telling me which program Pompeo made that statement on. Yes, it was an event. Well, I didn't know it was an evangelical program, but yeah, that sounds about right. They would tolerate that kind of stuff. And also Graham, I believe his name is the guy. His father was a big pastor. Graham, he was in Russia meeting with some of. He was in Russia last month, meeting with Putin's guys. So him too somehow. Well, I feel the way he's been backing Trump for someone who's religious is unbelievable to me. So, yeah. Vicky Blum says there's a 5 year period. Yeah. Depending on the crime, yes, there will be 5 years after that you can't do anything. Yes, I heard. Well, obviously, that's one of Trump's motivation because he knows he'll be indicted the minute he leaves the White House. But I don't feel. I'm sorry. I don't feel that's going to work out. Len is saying at least Trump is going to watch Congress with the investigations and witnesses that will torture him. Len, I don't think he's going to be able to take it. To be honest with you, I don't see how. And that's Len. I've said I don't know how long you've been watching, or you've been coming to my streams. And Steve and a couple of other people in here have been with me since I started. Uh, I have always, in fact, I predicted that since last September, his problems, his challenges would get worse. And I did say starting February, and to be honest with you, I'm surprised. I predicted that February, March would be his downfall. But it seems like I'm wrong as far as when I said he was going to go. But the way things are going, it's becoming worse. So I'm going to agree that I was wrong with the time frame, but I was right saying things were going to get more challenging for him. And tonight doesn't bother me a bit. No, I'm not happy. But if that's what Mueller, from what I understand, follows the rules, you cannot indict a sitting president. Maybe he's going by that or whatever it is. But I still feel pretty good. So to answer your question, Lynn, it's not only going to be torture for Trump. When they start revealing his taxes, not only his personal tax, but uh, his businesses, I don't feel he's going to be able to sit and watch. I feel he'll leave. And also, once his kids start to testify, being called in front of Congress to testify, yes, he's going to fight them tooth and nail. But that's when things are going to get really dicey. Okay. Have a good night, Len. Barr says something. Okay, I'm scrolling for more questions. I knew it was gonna be. Scotty says, she can't wait. Me too. I can't wait. Have a good night, Coriel. Artist, how are you? Yes, artist. I did see that the market was down today, but I feel it's gonna go up and down. I I don't feel it's yes because of what the Feds did. Instead of raising interest rate or doing anything, the statement he put out was basically a very carefully written financial statement that spooked a lot of people. But I don't see the market staying down. Hi, Linda. Have a good night. So I am not going to freak out yet. I am hoping whatever recession is coming, gets pushed back. I am not seeing it yet. I feel we're going to go through some challenging financial periods, but I'm hoping. Okay. I am scrolling. Susan says she would like it would be we would be sad if indicted and pardoned. Susan, from what I heard, if somebody is indicted for criminal stuff, I don't think Trump can pardon them. Please, somebody, if someone in the room knows better than I, but that's what I think I heard. Trump cannot just go around and pardon people like that. There are rules. So I wouldn't be surprised if he tries, but that's what I heard. Yes, Linda. Linda is talking. He's saying that news. He's talking about Mueller's strategy to farm out other stuff on Trump. Linda, they already have done that. That's how Cohen, his lawyer, got indicted. They found out what they were doing, paying the women to shut them up, and also the National Enquirer. That's how they found out about all those things. Yeah, no, that's what I've been saying here. This is only the beginning. There is so much that has been farmed out. Uh, at the end, that's why I'm saying I think Trump is laughing too soon. They are picking his life apart, and this guy doesn't seem to have any clue. So, let's let him laugh tonight. Or from what I heard, they were doing high fives. Let them do high fives tonight. More to come. Next week he'll be crying because Sater is going to be testifying next week. So we'll see how he behaves next week. Okay, everyone. Thank you for coming. Please leave me comments. If you have any suggestions, they are welcome. Please let me know. This week I was working. The reason why I didn't put a video out this week, well, I did about 4 sessions this week. Yes, Bob, I'll probably come on. Somebody asked me if I'll do another reading when Barr releases the report. I will either come on or release a video. But this week I was working on a tutorial. I did it before, and they refreshed the app, and the app didn't behave the way it used to be before. In fact, it crashes my stuff. So I couldn't do the recording using a screen recorder. There is a way you can wirelessly connect your computer to your tablet, and then you can record all the actions that you can record whatever you are doing from the tablet, and that's how I wanted to record the tutorial. And there was a problem every time I would take an action, it would crash. So I solved that today. Hopefully tomorrow I'll do that. But that's what I was working on this week, and also I had to work. When I say work, I had clients. So it was kind of a crazy week for me. That's why I didn't have a chance to release more videos, but we'll do. Thank you everyone for coming. Have a good night. I may pop in over the weekend. I will send the notices before I do. So enjoy the rest of the day or evening. I will probably see you over the weekend. Otherwise, on Monday at 8 o'clock. Have a good night. Don't let whatever happened today get to you too much. It is only the beginning. So hang in there. Have a good night all. See you Monday and have a great weekend.